Welcome to SpiritCraft. Happy full moon, happy summer solstice. For those of you who are here live, I would love to just go around and have everybody set an intention for our time together today. What we are going to be doing is a Reiki share and hearing more about Reiki. I can't wait to dig in with Torsten. He's such an amazing Reiki master and just amazing human on this earth. But for now, though, in the beginning here, let's go with Jenny. What is your intention? Like what? And I know what you want because we just did a hypnosis session, but I want you to speak it out loud. What is your intention for this full moon and summer solstice?
To finish my publications. I think that's my intention. Thank
Yes.
you.
And Jenny just finished a book, you guys. She's been working on a book for how long? 15 years?
15
15
years.
years, yes.
I
We did.
forgot all about Kristin. She hypnotized me for 2 years.
But you did it. It went from 15 years of not having a book to working with me a little bit, and now the book is out there. So I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. Beautiful. Bree, what is your intention for the full moon and the summer solstice?
I want to enjoy the summer fully up here in my new habitat,
Yes.
along with networking and finding the perfect job that pays well but doesn't suck my soul.
Yes. Yes. You're going to create that job. You're
I'm
definitely
going to create it, but I do need income coming in, so I need like at least a part-time job
Yeah,
that I can kind of start one thing and push the other thing and then get the other thing running so I can let go of the first thing.
exactly. Exactly. Beautiful intention. I want you to hold that during our time together. Beautiful. Julie, what is your intention for this beautiful full moon and summer solstice? Go ahead and unmute yourself, Julie.
Okay. My intention is to just enjoy the entire summer, being healthy and happy, enjoy my baby home for the summer, and just take each day as a blessing.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. And welcome,
you.
welcome to SpiritCraft.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Kim, what is your intention for this beautiful full moon summer solstice?
Hello, everyone. My intention right now is to make sure that my father finds a safe place to live and gets the care that he is needing. And for myself, to kind of get back to myself, because I've been kind of in this chaotic energy of family emergency. So I would like to get back to my health, get back to my abundance energy and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna send some special energy to you for that, for your dad too. Definitely. Beautiful. And Ariana, what is your full moon summer solstice intention?
Good evening, everyone. It's so weird to say evening because it's so light outside still.
I know.
So great to see everyone. I think my intention for this full moon and summer solstice is really happiness, joy, and freedom. And releasing, I think, like overthinking and old patterns that kind of hold me back from being confident.
Beautiful, beautiful. I see that for you.
Thank you.
My intention is to have an amazing, I'm hosting a retreat this Saturday with a pack of wolves. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be with the wolves, get sloppy wolf kisses, and hold space for the amazing people who are coming to the retreat, for us to do some healing together, receive healing from the wolves, and do Reiki and hypnotherapy, and just go on a beautiful journey in the mountains with these amazing people. And Torsten, what is your intention?
That's a good idea. My intention is to reach more people in America with my work And this is a wonderful opening to that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, without any further ado, I'm going to introduce you guys to this amazing person. So I had been a Reiki master for probably about 20 years, I think, and I'm always like, I'm never done learning. Even 20 years in, I'm like, I want to learn new things. I want to learn from new people. I had multiple Reiki masters throughout my my time with Reiki, learning it. And I saw something on Facebook. I think it was 2017, 18. I can't remember exactly when, but it was like Reiki scientifically proven. And I was like, what? Cool. So I clicked on it, and it was Torsten. And he is from the UK. He's an amazing Reiki master. And we just met for coffee yesterday. Amazing person to just know and learn from. And you guys, you don't need to believe in Reiki, because this man has scientifically proven that it exists. And not only that it exists, that it works. And not only that it works and creates change, but it creates positive change. So I'm so excited to give this to you, Torsten, and thank you so much for being on SpiritCraft.
Thank you so much. It's just great being here, great being with you all. It's a really lovely welcome to California, having been here for a few weeks now and kind of trying to find my way around and just, yeah, kind of meet more natives and see how things are going on here. So as you may hear from my accent, I have lived in London for 25 years, but I am German originally. So the longer I talk, the more Germanic I sound, which can be very annoying. I've tried very hard to work on it, but it didn't quite work. I'm going to share my screen a bit later as well, so that you can see the mess that my desktop is, which kind of reflects my inner workings at present. Everything is a bit all over the place. I'm working on so many projects, but at the heart of pretty much everything I'm doing, well, everything, is Reiki. And I just maybe want to share just a little bit about myself, so that you get a bit a better idea of who I am and why I do what I'm doing. Because Reiki really wasn't kind of my cup of tea. In fact, anything holistic, I had no idea what it meant. Alternative, complementary wasn't me. When I had headaches, I would take some painkillers and I would go to a doctor and I would trust them, and I would just kind of live my life. I was looking for meaning, definitely, but the idea of a complementary therapy and meaning I didn't bring together. So what did I do? I did actually study theology for just over a year when I was 19 or 20 or so. Realized it's not exactly what I want to do, even though sometimes people say I still preach, but it's just something that I never wanted to do professionally. And then I started politics and eventually started my own business and became an entrepreneur. And I moved to London and I started a jewelry business and silverware. And I was so excited and pleased with myself. It was if you've been to London, it was on Regent Street, which is like Fifth Avenue in New York City. It's like the street. I had a big store there. I had a contract with a French fashion house designing jewelry, and none of that worked out. It just collapsed. It collapsed because of I don't know if it was a pandemic or no, I think it was an epidemic. So it was basically English, but older ones may recall images of burning sheep and cows due to something called the foot and mouth crisis, which was like an epidemic affecting not humans, but there were like hundreds of thousands of sheep and cows burned, and the pictures went all around the world. And for months, nobody was traveling to England anymore, which is when I realized that basically 90% of my customers were from abroad, and I never recovered from that. So the business failed, and because I had guaranteed for everything, I lost my home in London, my home in Berlin, and the family home in Hamburg, because my family had guaranteed for the loans as well, which was probably the most difficult thing of it all. And I just couldn't get back on my feet, up to a point when a year later or so, I was about to lose the little place I rented. I rented together with my mom, who was with me at the time. And we were sitting there and we were talking about committing suicide together. My mom and I were so close that I would not even, well, I would have probably done it without her, but it's just something. So we even talked about that. People say when you talk about something, you are far less likely to actually do it. But we were very, very close to not wanting to carry on for some odd reason. And the reason isn't really very odd. Well, the main reason for going on was that I had read a book probably half a year or so before. And it was Conversations with God by Neale Donald Walsh. And it came up with the idea that life does not end with death, which was novel to me. I'd never entertained the idea. Maybe a little bit like the Christian idea of there may be a heaven, but that life goes on. And even worse, that you may come back, is something that was entirely new to me. And I thought it was really, really interesting. What was going through my mind was, if I come back and if I don't kind of get through this challenge in this life, I probably have to go through something similar in the next life. And a few years ago, I went to a seminar with Neale Donald Walsh, and I told him the story that he was basically responsible for me carrying on, which was quite amazing. And was even more amazing was that the organizers asked me to do then the following retreat after him, which I thought was really quite spectacular. But there was a lot that happened in this time in between. And one of the things was that my mom read a book about Reiki. My sister gave it to her. It was an autobiography and it mentioned Reiki, and my mom was so hooked. And I still don't know how she actually got the money together, but she went on a Reiki course. I, not being able to get back on my feet, started working as a cleaner. I started working in a supermarket. I did anything to kind of make ends meet. And one day I overheard some people at these real estate agents that they needed a place refurbished, redecorated. And I thought, well, maybe I can do that. I can give it a try. I'm not terribly practical. Now I am, but not at the time. But anyway, I thought I give it a try, and I got the job. And ever since, my life got kind of back on track. I got more jobs, more money was coming in. We could pay the rental arrears. We could move to a bigger home. It was just incredible. And a year or so later, I looked back and I realized I started on a Friday with this redecorating job. And I still remember that my mom was so apologetic that she couldn't help, because it was the day that she started learning Reiki. It was literally the day that Reiki came into my life, not even directly, but through my mother, that my life changed for the better. And when I realized that, I really wanted to understand Reiki properly. In between, my mom, with things kind of moving up a little bit, had given me a Reiki course for Christmas because she thought, Torsten's not doing it anyway, so I need to kind of make sure that he's learning Reiki as well. And so I learned Reiki, and I was amazed. The fact that I could feel something in my hands was just so incredible. So it was always there, the physical sensation, and kind of this idea, I'm connected to something. But I didn't know what I was connected to, and I didn't know where the sensation was coming from. And I didn't understand why it could potentially even change my life circumstances and not just have a positive effect on headaches or back pain or something like that. So I tried to learn more and more. And within 2 years, I became a Reiki master. I started teaching. And it was just an incredible experience to share that with people and to realize that I'm not the only one who can feel it, that everybody can. It is completely foolproof. You don't need to believe it. And I just started a school in London. At some stage, I got a contact to Hay House, and they asked me to write their so far only book about Reiki. So that was very helpful to reach out and meet more people. But what I started doing at some stage was, I think somebody told me about it. I don't think it was my own idea, but I asked people, even on the first day of learning Reiki, to fill 2 glasses with tap water and to just kind of hold the glass in your hand and give it Reiki for a few minutes, just one of them, one of the 2 glasses, and then taste the difference. And a lot of people do that with their families at home, or that they, when I do a weekend course, they come home and say, well, it's a bit weird. I can feel a little bit, not so sure if I really understand it or trust it as yet. But they said I should do this kind of water test, and then they give it to the family, and everybody's like, that's incredible. There is really a change. It is amazing. And I thought this is just so powerful because it's just so simple. So if we can change the taste of water, normally it goes in the direction of being smoother, softer, a bit more pleasant, more like spring water rather than just a purified tap water. And I was always wondering whether this could be scientifically proven. And I tried everywhere. I looked in America, I looked everywhere in Europe to find a laboratory that I could work with. And I eventually found one in Switzerland. And it's a very interesting laboratory. They used to work with Masaru Emoto. I don't know if you've heard of him. He wrote this book, Hidden Messages in Water.
Yeah.
But they refined the technique. So it's not about frozen crystals. What they do is they take a sample, like a drop of water, put it on a glass dish, actually do several, and let it go through a distillation process before, and then put it there and let it dry so that you have the residue, the salts, the minerals on the glass dish, and they look at that under a microscope. And their idea was to find the best drinking water in the world, the best natural spring water. So they have done this test about, I think, 20,000 times. And they came up with a kind of library of different shapes of crystallization that indicate high quality water, or whether water was polluted at some stage and then needed to be kind of artificially cleaned, but not directly from a natural source like mountain spring water or something like that. The interesting, I think the best water is actually somewhere in New Zealand, Australia, somewhere in this region, what I found. And so I got in contact with them, and I'm going to show you a little bit what I did, and then we can kind of talk about what that means. But that means I need to now share my screen. Let me see. Okay, right. Screen, share. Please excuse the mess. Can you still hear me, and can you see something?
Yep.
Good, that's wonderful. This is the crystallization of Swiss tap water under a microscope. And what's interesting is the kind of straight lines and rectangular kind of angles. They, like 90-degree angles, they show that the water has a certain degree of pollution, or at least that it had been polluted, and it's now kind of cleansed and is completely drinkable, filtered, chemically purified, but still there is the information there. So it is not natural spring water. And after an hour of Reiki, this is one of the crystalline structures that could be seen. And these kind of floral, plant-based, leaf-shaped structures are indicative for natural spring water. In fact, they they quantify or they measure the water. And I have no idea where the system is coming from, but in the German-speaking world, there are school grades from 1 to 6, and 1 is the best and 6 is the worst. And they decided to use this grading system for water. So when people like get 1 or 2, then it's really good water, natural spring water. And the Swiss tap water was 3.1, which for tap water is pretty good. But let me just see. That is the logo I'm kind of publishing all this under. And this is me in this laboratory giving Reiki to the water. So after an hour of Reiki, it changed from 3.1 to 1.9, which is the entry level for good quality natural spring water. So the water significantly changed. And then I got into complete overdrive. I thought it was so exciting. I wanted to see whether the Reiki symbols, the 3 kind of working symbols that we get in Reiki 2, the power symbol, harmony symbol, and connection symbol, whether they would make any difference. Let's just see what I've got here, where I am. Now I need to find my baron. This is the structure of, this is now a smaller magnification, so you see more of the actual water drop. And this is the crystallization of the Swiss tap water. You can see these kind of lines in the left-hand corner a little bit, and some kind of rather undefined crystals. And this happens after Reiki. It is leaf-shaped or starfish-shaped structures, and this is a higher magnification. I think it's magnified 400 times, and this is after Reiki. So it's completely different. What was really fascinating was to look at London tap water. This is London tap water, and it's almost like a graveyard. Out of 6, 1 to 6, it's the measure was 5 or 5.1. It was like almost undrinkable. And after, I think we did 3 hours of Reiki, or 6 hours of Reiki. I'm not so sure. I think it was 3 hours of Reiki. The quality changed to this structure. There's still some straight lines, but you can see that there are some starfish shapes as well. This again is London tap water, and this is where it's changed to after Reiki. Now, this is one of my Reiki courses, and this lady was receiving Reiki. Of course, this lady, just like all of us, has a body, and the body is made up of water. 60, 70, 80% when we are born, over 90% of the body mass is water. So just for comparison, when we look at what Reiki does to just the water in a glass, in a bottle, just imagine what it does to the water, to the cells that are primarily water in our body. And just seeing, not entirely, so that's again the Swiss tap water. That is the Swiss tap water, so that's the starting point. And this is, again, the body with the chakras, which aren't really normally part of the traditional Reiki teaching, but I just find it fascinating because it shows that we already operate on different vibration levels. And when we Google the kind of different hertz, the different energetic vibrations of the chakras, then we can see that it kind of, there is a significant difference between the root chakra and the crown chakra, and in between it's just higher and finer vibrations. At the time of Mikao Usui in Japan, they focused on 3 chakras. The lower one, and I put these little squares around there in turquoise, the lower one, the navel chakra, in Japanese it's called the hara, and that stands for the body, the physical energy. Then there is the chakra higher up, the brow chakra, the third eye, which stands for deeper understanding, intuition, our emotions, spiritual connection. And then in between, the heart chakra stands for love, connection, oneness. They basically kind of sum up the lower chakras, the upper chakras, and the central chakra. So it's very similar to the chakra system. And I'm saying that because for the lower of these chakras, of these in Japanese is called tanden points, the navel chakra is connected with the power symbol for physical healing. The brow chakra is connected with the harmony symbol for intuition, spiritual opening, deeper understanding, and the heart chakra obviously with the connection symbol to connect with other people and to experience more love. This is let me just see. I just need to understand what I'm actually doing there. So this is using the power symbol. And when we look at the power symbol, what I did was for an hour, I was sitting there and constantly focusing on the power symbol, drawing it, repeating the mantra. And you can see that the crystallization is in the entire image. This is a bigger magnification, and you can see lots of crystals, very refined, which is a lot more than just Reiki. Let me just jump back. So this is just Reiki without the power symbol. And this is with the power symbol. So there are a lot more crystals. The quality of the water remained the same. So it was 1.9, so similar to a normal Reiki treatment, but the crystallization shows that it's very much focused on physical healing. Now, on the left, you see the power symbol, and on the right, you can see the effect of the harmony symbol. And when we look at this in a smaller magnification, you can see that the crystals are basically all on the side. They are not in the entire sample, in the entire water drop. And when the director of this institute came to me and said they'd just done these analyses, and it's quite obvious that the first one probably had some physical healing qualities, but the second one, the harmony symbol, was probably more for something else, not physical healing. And I thought, this is so incredible. This is really like reaching out, showing that this is a higher awareness, sensing something. It is about a metaphysical understanding, but not just the physical. That is the power symbol again. That is the, I believe, harmony symbol again. Let me just see. And now the biggest surprise came. The harmony symbol on the left and the connection symbol on the right. The crystals, when I used the connection symbol, were much bigger. And they started to connect and to overlap. They were still on the edges, but you can see all these kind of spikes are really reaching out. They are touching each other. And for me, this was like the greatest breakthrough ever, to realize this is almost like a visualization or an illustration of what the symbols really stand for. This again is the crystallization of the harmony symbol, and I think, not sure what I've got on there. I think that is another one. So this is a photo that I took of the memorial stone at the graveyard of Mikao Sui with the Reiki principles. And I tend to find that the more we do Reiki, the more we understand it, the more we naturally move into a space where we do not have to be so angry, where we do not have to worry as much, where we can be grateful, where we can work with diligence and be kind to others. And the key to getting there is raising our vibrations through the use of the Reiki symbols. And now, let me just see where I am back. Stop sharing. I'm back again. Did that work? Yes. I hope that wasn't too much and too quick of an overview. But and I didn't actually. I was kind of improvising a little bit. I didn't know there was the Reiki principles at the end, but I thought it kind of brings it nicely together. But what is so fascinating is when we understand what the Reiki symbols stand for, I start realizing that Reiki is not just an energy healing system, but it connects us to different vibrational levels in the universe. So it's like we start understanding ourselves as a microverse, as a mini universe, and we realize that everything that's out in the universe we already have inside of us, and we are connected with these different levels. So we are on this physical level, we have all sorts of physical problems, from financial problems to physical health, all to do with our physical existence, and Reiki can bring change and Reiki can help. And this is the idea behind the power symbol, to really go into the physical existence and to accept the physical existence and to change it. And this is what I like so much about Reiki, kind of compared to kind of more religious teachings, which I feel often kind of negate the body. The body is something that we have for a time being, but really we are a spiritual being. But the spiritual being is stuck for 80 years or so in a body, and this is leading to all sorts of problems. And Mikao Usui and the system of Reiki never denied that. It is not a system that kind of tells us, this is kind of my understanding, to live abstinent, to not eat, to not drink, to not have a relationship, to just kind of live monk life. The opposite. Mikao Usui had his moment of enlightenment on Mount Kurama in the wilderness, but then he went back to first Kyoto and then to Tokyo. And he went to the middle of Tokyo and started giving Reiki treatments there. And he never asked a single of his students to, well, go into the wilderness, to change their lives, to join a monastery or something like that. He, in fact, realized that it hadn't worked for him, and he wanted Reiki as a tool to bring higher vibrations into everyday life. And now we have this proof that it really raises our vibrations. It raises the very vibrations of water. It raises our vibrations. We understand better. I mean, if water can heal or change so quickly, we understand better why a university in Pennsylvania did this research project with patients who had a knee replacement. I think it was a knee replacement. I think 50 of them, and half of them received sham Reiki. So somebody was just pretending doing Reiki, and half of them received regular Reiki treatments. And after a few weeks, it was clear they were healing, I think, 3 times faster. They needed less painkillers. So it's just fascinating. So of course, Reiki does work. So we have this proof, but there are only a few studies in this field. Most scientific studies are like focused on these softer ideas like stress reduction and dealing with pain and positivity and so on, rather than this kind of hardwired physical thing. But Reiki works on the body, and it does so, and this is my understanding, by raising the vibrations, by changing the energy, by allowing the self-healing abilities of our body to kick in and the body to start healing. But of course, that doesn't explain at all why I got back on track with my life. Because the one thing I didn't need was any physical healing. I needed a change of direction, a change in circumstances. So the upper tangent point, the third eye, is about looking at life, at ourselves in different directions. realizing that when we align more with our life path, with the universe, we accept, we understand, we realize we can get help, then changes are coming. And Reiki works on this level as well. One could argue that the stress reduction is basically a result of that. And this is what the harmony symbol basically stands for. And Mikao Usui was very clear that the system was never just for physical healing, even though, interestingly, my understanding is that it was his focus. A lot of people initially came because they had chronic back pain, some physical problem, and they came to have healing. The early Reiki masters, many of them were from the Navy. They were the person, Reiki master Mikao Usui attuned, who came up with the text for the memorial stone, was a vice admiral of the Japanese Navy. So they were looking for a system to use in the Navy, to use in combat when soldiers would be wounded, and they could give Reiki straight away. And they realized, and that is even says on the memorial stone, that the more they used it, the more they realized the physical healing is just a side effect. It's about changing the mind, realizing there's more to us, ultimately realizing we are a spiritual being. And this is how Mikao Usui taught it. And the connection symbol, often called distance healing symbol, because we use it when we send Reiki over a distance, really shows that there is no distance. So it's almost a contradiction in terms. It is not bridging a distance. It's just the realization that on the level of quantum physics, we are all connected. So we are tapping into the smallest building block. We are tapping into the level of particles where everything is connected. And once we do this, we can do anything. We can reach anything. But we need to realize that this building block can also be called love. And this was, for me, the biggest understanding, because it is connected with our heart. So when we reach out, when we send a distant treatment, we open our heart. We build a connection from our heart to the other person. And we can do that with trees, with wolves, with our pets, with our estranged partner. We don't have to get back together again, but to find a deeper understanding. And I really feel once we use Reiki to open our heart, we can change our lives so powerfully. And it showed in these water tests that it even heals water more powerfully. And so it started at 3.1 for Swiss tap water to 1.9 with the power symbol and the connection, the harmony symbol, and 1.8 with the connection symbol. So we're even one step further. And interestingly, the master symbol is doing the same. It kind of brings all these elements together, and it also improved in a 1-hour treatment the quality of the water to 1.8. So we are in a body. We are a body, and it's important to identify with the body, to connect with the body, and to look after it. And Reiki helps with that. We are a spiritual being, and we can open up, and we get guidance and ideas. And I do something very similar to Kristin. When she is swimming in the pool, I always take a bath. And I just lay in my bathtub, and I give it Reiki. And I find that this is where I feel most connected and most intuitive. My last book, I think half of that was written in the bath. I was there with my cell phone. I dictated everything. And it was just fascinating. And then, of course, when we open the heart, we realize that we cannot just connect to other people. We don't just realize that we are connected. We realize that ultimately we are love. And when we stay in this love, and when we feel this love and bring that into our energy field, it's one of the most unbelievable experiences ever. We don't really need to love ourselves. We realize we are love. So we can naturally love ourselves because we can just tap into love, because that is one of the most difficult things ever. And Kristin and I talked about that yesterday, that it's so difficult to love yourself. But when we step into this love and realize that's what we are, we can share it, and we interact with people on a completely different level. And I just wanted to do like one little exercise that I started doing a while ago, and I do every single day, and I just feel it's so helpful. If you are up for it, I'm just going to talk you through. It's just very simple. You can do it anywhere. You can do it at work. You can do it while you're walking. If you just want to take a moment to just connect to Reiki, however you do it, bring your hands together and just feel the connection.
And I
And
just
then
want to
just
say, if people aren't attuned, because not everybody's going to be attuned to Reiki, but if you're not attuned to Reiki, just connect to love, connect to your heart.
Absolutely. Just yes, just use the word just use energy instead of connect. Universal energy instead of Reiki.
Mhm.
So just take a moment to connect, and then just feel your body and completely be in your body and feel your connection with the earth. Your feet on the floor, your buttocks on the chair. Just feel being in a body and being part of the physical realm. Then bring your awareness to your third eye and just open up your third eye and just sense that you are a spiritual being, that you can receive intuition and guidance. You can see more clearly with your third eye. And then bring your awareness to your heart and just open your heart and feel the love that is in your heart. And then feel your love for the entire universe and your connection with the entire universe. Just for a moment, become completely aware that you are a multi-dimensional being. Physically incarnated in a body, a spiritual being, and connected to the entire universe. And then just take a moment to thank Reiki or thank the universe and come back into the here and now.
Beautiful.
So this is kind of where I wanted to get. Just a few little technical things. Let me just see. My beloved cell phone. And I have a website called the Reiki Revolution, which is, I find, quite helpful, because when you talk to somebody and mention Reiki, the first thing is, what is Reiki? Is there scientific proof? And you go straight here. Oops, where is it? There. And there is a cursor, and you can move from the Swiss tab border to the change after Reiki. And it's just free. And you just normally, I suppose, would have it on you because you have the phone there and you can show people the scientific proof. I also did a research project with almost 1,100 people worldwide. Most of them were Reiki masters. And one of the questions was, has Reiki improved your physical health? And 46% said yes, greatly, and 46% said yes, slightly. So this kind of, where is there? This kind of chart shows that 92% of people who've learned Reiki said it improved their physical health. And 95% said that it improved their mental well-being. Mm-hmm. And 93% said it improved their physical understanding. So this is, of course, also science. It is empirical evidence, it's data. And they were collected in a way that is used for scientific research projects. So there is a lot of scientific proof. And even though we don't need the proof, because we can just use Reiki and we have the proof in our hands. I think it's nice to be able to connect our brain with our spiritual path as well, and we can show to other people there is a lot of evidence. Just wanted to show you that as well, because it's a free resource, and I just think it's quite helpful.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And I did put that link in the SpiritCraft group as well, so you guys can see the change in the water. I love what you did, and thank you for from all Reiki masters everywhere, every single Reiki practitioner. Thank you for doing this, because here's the thing for me, like, I've been in the spiritual realm my whole life. You know, I'm gonna be 50, and since I was 12, I've been reading tarot, doing, you know, playing with the fairies outside in nature. Like, I've always been connected. And as we say in the States, it's woo woo, right? They call it woo woo. And but as woo as I am, there's part of me where I will not do something unless it makes sense to me. I can feel it. I know it's real, right? And I knew Reiki was real because, you know, we talked about yesterday, you know, dying and coming back to life, and all the pain involved with third-degree burns. Over 30% of my body brought Reiki to me. But what I didn't tell you yesterday, and now I'm going to tell you because of what you shared here, is right before the fire, I wanted to kill myself too, right? So it was Reiki coming in to allow me to fall in love with myself and to fight and to see that life is a gift, and I'm a gift, and I deserve to live. Like, Reiki, that for me was like the first, like I had that first change on the emotional level, and then the physical level came after, right? But what I love about what you have scientifically proven is that we are doing it right. Because, you know, you did the chokure, which my students will know as the physical, or the power symbol. You know, chokure is all about the physical body, and for it to be scientifically proven that when you use that symbol, like, physical things happen, right? So it's almost like it shows us that all of these years later, all these decades later, we are doing it right. We're using the symbols for the right reason.
Yes.
I love that. And wasn't there part of it where you did it distance as well? Like, you were sending it from...
Yes. So there were a few more elements to that, and I asked the laboratory to keep one bottle aside of the tap water that we were working on, so that I could then, when I was back in London, send Reiki over. And they were very confused, and they didn't know what to do. So when I spoke to them on the phone, they said, "So what are we supposed to do with the water now?" I said, "Well, why don't you just place it on the desk where I had been sitting doing the experiments there, so that I know where it is, and then all you need to do is just leave it there for an hour. During that hour, I'm sending the energy remotely, and then just do the normal test." And it also improved significantly. From the top of my head, I think it improved to 2.2. So it was just a little bit less than hands-on healing, but one could argue within the margin of error. So it definitely had a significant improvement.
I love that.
And we did another project there where I had given Reiki to one bottle, and they just kept the bottle in a locked cabinet for 3 months. And then they tested it as well. And the quality was exactly the same improvement. So it stays, which is very, very interesting. I wouldn't say we can really kind of come to the same conclusion on a human body, because what we eat, what we drink, what we how we intoxicate ourselves with negativity, watching the news and stress and all these kind of things, I wouldn't say that necessarily the same effect is there after 3 months, but in this kind of static laboratory environment, it worked. So yes, Reiki is staying there, and Reiki is continuing to be there and to work.
And so that, yeah, because we don't all lock ourselves away in a cabinet. Sometimes we want to when the world
Yes.
does some stuff, but that gives even more to Reiki being a practice, right? Reiki isn't like taking one pill, having one treatment, and then you're perfect, right? It's a practice of doing it on yourself, receiving it, like making it part of every day is how I teach my students. Like, it's not just about giving Reiki or receiving Reiki. It's doing it as you cook, doing it to your water, drinking Reiki, Reikiing yourself to
It's
sleep,
very
right?
much turning it into a lifestyle, I find,
Yeah.
and just finding a way to somehow use it every day. I personally start every morning with a self-treatment. I just place my hands on like different parts of my body, but I feel just somehow just feeling the connection. Sometimes just when you just wait for 5 minutes or so, just connect to Reiki and just feel it. It's still there. You are still connected. The support is there. I think this is just so important. So it's very much about regularity. And we talked about ritual yesterday as well. It's just really, really important to keep going. I know so many people who did not keep going, who learned Reiki and they did something else, and then life just took over. And then 10 years on, they said, well, it hasn't really made much of a difference. And I thought, well, exactly, because you have not been using it. So it's very, very much in the use, in the very, very regular use.
Yeah. Can we do a little like Reiki share with everybody here, like with
That'd be great. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. So everybody, whether or not you do Reiki, again, universal light energy, just call that in. And yeah, I'll let you guide us. But everybody, like, put in your mind, and this is for everybody watching the video afterwards as well, it will work as you're watching it as well, and put in your mind what your intention is, and I will even invite you to visualize it, like see it happening, feel it, like celebrate it inside your body as we're doing this share. All right, go ahead.
Yes, great. So yeah, when you're ready, just connect to Reiki, however you do it, or connect to the highest vibrations in the universe. And once you feel that you're connected, just set your intention to connect with everybody on this Reiki share, whether it's live or in a replay later, or you may even want to take part in a replay later again. If you've learned the connection symbol, you can use that to really deeply connect with everybody. So you can just draw it and set your intention to connect with everybody, or you just set your intention right now. And I normally then just open my hands and just feel the connection with everyone. Just close your eyes and let Reiki flow. Knowing that Reiki is doing by non-doing. It's flowing through you to everybody and through everybody to you. You may just want to take a moment to really sense inside and just feel the calm, feel the healing vibrations and your connection with everybody else.
And I invite you to connect with the power, connect with the healing of the sun. Shining that light on your path, bringing in that energy, bringing in that drive, moving you forward on your path towards your goal. And also calling in that full moon energy, that beautiful feminine emotion, feeling the emotion of what you are walking towards, feeling the knowing of it, bringing that intuition in, knowing the right way to go about it, and making the steps, bringing the sun and moon together and breathing that in.
When you're ready, shall we just bring this together, come back into the here and now in the knowledge that Reiki carries on working. It is within us, the connection is always there, and it was not just this Reiki share, but it will now continue to work on our challenges, on our issues, to give us the positive energy, starting with this solstice energy. Just take a moment to bring your hands back together and just take a moment to thank Reiki or thank the universe.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Mm.
That was beautiful. Do you have a couple minutes in case there's any question and answer?
Sure, yeah.
Look at all the hearts. Thanks, guys, for the hearts. Beautiful. So, does anybody have any questions for Torsten? You can just
I
go.
just want to say thank you so much.
It's nice, thank you.
So, no questions? Just want to make sure. Yeah, Bree, go ahead.
What would be your favorite instance of sharing Reiki where someone was like, ooh, like where they got it, like where you shared something and they were just like, this is amazing. Like, what was one of your favorite experiences with that?
For me, it's normally just when I just ask somebody, well, do you just want to try Reiki for a moment? Is it okay if I just place my hands on your shoulders or on any area on the body or slightly away? And then they look at like, I can really feel something. This is for me still the key to Reiki, this I can feel something. Because I think that sets it so apart from so many other spiritual disciplines and even healing modalities. They have wonderful results as well, but this immediate thing, it's getting warm. Something is going on. This for me is, I think, it's just absolutely amazing. And as also over distance, years ago I gave Reiki to a friend, the husband of a school friend, and he had leukemia and he almost died. And I said I would send him Reiki to his hospital bed. He was in Germany, I was in London, and half an hour later he phoned his wife and said, I felt something. I could really feel something. And then he said that is the first time that he believed he could actually make it. That was the turning point. So this kind of connection, I can feel something. So there is experiential, immediate proof that something is going on. This is for me, I think, the most exciting thing.
Yeah. I would say because I work distance with most people, for me, it's when I do I do an intake and see like what people want to work on. And then I'm here with my crystal grid doing my Reiki. And then at the end, I check in with the client at the end and tell them kind of what I felt, what I saw. I get a lot of visualizations usually. And it happened once with Kim, who's actually on here. But so we're not talking. She's laying there, she's receiving, and I'm silent doing my Reiki. We're in different areas. And then I say, hey, I don't know what this means, but I saw a tree and blah, 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 blah. And then she tells me, yeah, I was literally visualizing a tree or working with a tree. So
That's so amazing. Yeah.
You kind of get that proof, right? Like the proof is that I feel like the higher level of that proof is just, yes, the feeling of it. But then when you get those little connections that normally shouldn't happen, right? Like that's when it really proves itself to me over and over again. Yeah. Thanks for your question, Bree. And Mary, I'm looking at the chat here. Mary says it's hard to formulate questions when one is in a different headspace. Any other questions before we end our time together? Any burning desires or anything about Reiki? I know a lot of you guys are Reiki students. This is the time. All right, perfect. Well, Torsten, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will share your link. I've already shared the little video of the water, but I'll share the link in SpiritCraft. And yes, thank you. I just thank you for everything you've done.
Such a pleasure being here, meeting you, being with like-minded people, feel a real connection. So this is wonderful.
Oh, beautiful. Well, happy full moon to everybody. I always pick a tarot card at the end of SpiritCraft. So this is a card for everybody that is either present right now or who watches the video later. And so we're going to see what card we get on this beautiful full moon summer solstice, where we're all flying in the universe right now with this Reiki share we just did. Oh, look at that. We got the sun. I love that. To me, this card is Reiki, right? Like whenever I get this card in a reading, it's good energy, it's new beginnings, it's just it's the card of yes, the card of move forward towards what you're doing. It's a new dawning. Do it in a different way. Get outside, get under the sun. It's friendship, it's happiness, it's love. Like the sun is Reiki. So use this beautiful energy that we're all swimming in right now to really put towards that intention. And to add on to what Torsten said about Reiki, the beautiful thing about it is it has its own intelligence, right? So it doesn't just stop because we stopped, right? It's continually processing, going through your body. And even if there's something that you don't know needs to be worked on, like Reiki knows, right? So allow that energy to continue doing its work, and really take this night, or whenever you watch this, to set an intention, maybe as you're going to sleep, to allow your subconscious mind to open up to your intention, and allow the beauty of the subconscious mind as well as the beauty of Reiki to really just get ready for this to happen, because it is definitely going to happen. This is the card of yes, the card of Reiki, the card of love. So thank you guys so much. And Torsten, really, my heart thanks you so much for everything.
What a pleasure. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.
You too. All right. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.